Alright crew, so in today's video we are going to be covering why it's so hard to stay consistent and what you can do about it to overcome that resistance. I'm going to start off with a personal story because it's very relevant in my life. And the whole reason I'm actually making this video is because I'm in this 14-day creator course to help me transform the quality of my YouTube videos. I wanted to be able to share this message that I have with the world. I love helping people shift their perception of the way that they engage with reality. And yet, I noticed that I've been hiding because I had this story that if my content isn't really beautiful, if it isn't perfect, if it isn't aesthetically pleasing, if the audio isn't great, if it's not filmed on a phone, like if it's filmed on a phone, it wouldn't be good enough if I didn't have all the lighting setups. All these stories that kept me from ever starting. Now you can hear the perfectionism, I'm sure, reflected in this, in some of your own story, needing conditions to be just right, needing to have more tools, more equipment, more certifications, more knowledge, more practice, more something before you begin. And what I'm doing here is I've decided to begin to create these videos and give myself permission for it to be messy. I hate that this might even end up on the internet because if you could see the setup I have around me, it's this janky ring light hanging off of a thread to my left. It's an old whiteboard to my right on top of a suitcase, and it's my iPhone plugged into an Amazon mic that I just bought for like $10. And yet here we are because I've made the decision to be more committed to progress than to having everything perfect. And maybe one of the messages in this video for you is that some of you just need the permission for it to be messy, for it to be imperfect, for you to even begin. So allow this to be an example of that, because whatever this video is doing for you, the fact that you've seen it, the fact that you've run into it means that me starting now actually is meeting you where you're at, and perhaps even inspiring it. The other reason consistency is so challenging is because, well, resistance is natural. It's something as artists, as creators, as anyone who's sharing their voice, their gifts, their talents, their message with the world, anyone who wants to lead in any capacity is going to encounter resistance because it's asking us to be vulnerable. It's asking us to be intimate. It's asking us to share the deepest part of who we are and face coming up against some of that rejection, that feedback, that criticism. It's asking us to look boldly into the mirror of our own creation and see where it is inadequate. And to not let that be a deterrent. This is a massive game of how's your relationship with yourself? Right? I'm going to say this to you directly, because oftentimes what will be stopping you from ever actually starting is the fear of your own judgment. You might be afraid of what other people are going to think, of what other people are going to say, of how other people are going to criticize, feedback, or treat you. But that fear ultimately is a projection of what you're already judging yourself for. If you can switch from judgment to celebration, from criticism to acceptance in and of yourself first, it's going to crack open the doors that are going to allow you, maybe it's to get up and sing. Maybe it's to dance for the first time. Maybe it's to put a video out on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. Maybe it's to stand up at the comedy club and tell your first joke. Maybe it's to walk up and ask that girl out, but it doesn't matter what it is, because this applies universally. That the moment you decide that you are not going to judge yourself for it. Because what do? We look at everyone else. They dance weird. They don't sound good when they're singing. Oh man, he got rejected. Make a big deal out of it, and we judge everyone else. So of course we assume that's what they're doing to us, and of course that's already the narrative that happens internally, because any way that we speak externally to us, to the world around us, is what we're going to tolerate internally, and vice versa. Any way that we speak to ourselves internally is what we're going to tolerate externally, and it's this crazy mirror that we can learn a lot about ourselves in the process. So, if you want to be able to be consistent, one of the first things you need to be able to do is to give yourself permission for it to be messy, for it to be imperfect, and for it to not be as good as you want it to be on the first take, the 10th attempt, or even the 100th try. And that might sound simple, but it also might sound crazy. Because it's like, why would I put it out there? Why would I create it if it's not going to be perfect? Believe me, I'm the king of high standards. I hold an extremely, extremely high standard in my life, in and of myself. As a result, it can be crippling. At moments, it's verged into perfectionism, where it stopped me. And I've worked to develop my relationship with that perfectionism, releasing it, trusting that that's never actually going to happen, that it's an unattainable image. And how will I know it's perfect anyways? Who deems that? What is it good enough for? Oh, it's good enough for me, but that's a sliding scale that's always out of reach. So for you, what I'm inviting you to do is to give yourself permission to show up messy, to have it imperfect, to just do it, even if it's 70% good, even if it's 65% good, even if it's 50% of the standards that you hold for yourself, trusting that with every repetition, it's going to increase inevitably. And the affirmation that comes with that is, I will not judge myself for what I create, but rather I will celebrate my progress. I will celebrate and accept my efforts. Because who you become in the process of creating is far more important than what you create. See, that's the thing that a lot of artists and creators have backwards, is they think what they create is actually the gift to the world. But in reality, in truth, it's who they become as a result of creating that's actually the gift to the world. Let that sink in. Now go create. Maybe Nike did have it right when they said just do it, but I think there's a layer deeper that stops us, and I want to invite you to alter your relationship with your internal dialogue with yourself. Shift it from criticism and judgment to celebration and acceptance. Just acknowledge it. Celebrate it. Jeez, acknowledge the fact that I'm on here creating a video. I'm sweating. It's messy, it's dark, it's at night, and yet I'm here showing up because this message feels important. And because even if it's 50% of what I want it to be, I know that if I make 100 more of these, it's probably going to be closer to 85 or 90%. And then with another 200 videos, maybe it'll be like 95%, If you like this video, if you enjoyed it, if you got some value from it, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend or family member to help me grow and get this message out here. I'm Jake, and it's my mission to help people break free from the matrix which is actually, as you guys know, a set of stories that we create when we are children that keep us locked and stuck in a bubble of operating that is a false perception of reality. Like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more.